we've seen plenty of China this year. They finished third on the 2019 Asia Rugby 7 Series. They were placed third in Korea, second in China, made the final after beating Japan in the semis. So this is a team that's beaten Japan this season, and they are in with a shot at this title. This squad, now we look at it. On the bench, number 10, Shan Changshun. Well, he's the leading point scorer for China, 96 points this season. And Singapore, well, there were some impressive players. Nicholas Yao and Nathan Wong. Also Jeffredin in 6. And it looks like a young side.
One mismatch we've seen in terms of size and physicality on offer here. And Singapore surprised me with their ability to play some good continuity and some pace, but China do present a much different challenge.
Nathan Wong takes it to the line. There's Jeffredin in 6 with the headgear on. And expect them to have a crack at these Chinese defence. As you say, out-muscled. And look at this, here's a good example of 3 China players just casually marching Jeffredin to the dead ball area. And there was nothing he could do about that. I mean, he'd struggle one-on-one, I reckon, Jeffredin. He's a tiny man, full of skills and confidence, but there he is, he's a slight man.
Well, Gao Bing, when he stands upright, he'll probably take you up 6 or 7 inches, you know.
Here's a golden opportunity after 1 minute to crack open this game. Here's Ma Zhong, slips over on the surface, still a little bit dewy. Lu Luda, the skipper, fires it away. And look at the individual brilliance from Gao Yinghao. He's pulled up short. What an effort by the defensive line of Singapore. They go wide again, and they're going to run out of numbers, are they? Ma Zhong, well, he throws out a bit of a loose one to Big Gao, and well, he could probably reach out from where he caught it to get that one over. Look at the size of this man. They're in for their first try.
Yes, well, he smashes all myths about no one being very big in China, doesn't he? As he calmly retreats back to halfway, but Singapore, well, in the early stages of the match, seem to be chasing shadows, and the shadows much bigger and much faster.
China not looking that slick at the moment. A lot of those passes just behind the runner, and Ma Zhong has nailed that from the sideline. The man who spent some time with the South China Tigers this season, Global Rapid Rugby. He's been on the circuit for a number of years, and here's a father explaining to his son about how to use space. So 7-0, that's an absolute cracker from Ma. Looks like he's brought the kicking boots. Knocked backwards by Nathan Wong.
Well, let's see what happens if Singapore can get some sustained possession here. How well China can operate, reforming, having their defence shifting around. Oh dear.
Yeah, Lu Luda and his mates are not going to hang around waiting for Singapore to get the ball out of the scrum. Maurice Wong throws it wide. Out wide's Nathan Wong. He's going to have a crack at the line, taken by Hu Zhenyi. He's a live wire, this young man. Hidayat Jeffredin, and they try and pick him up again, but he's surely on the floor. And they just march over the top once again, and look up, there's no one ahead. Gao Yinghao, the power, the explosiveness of China there. And it's boys against men.
They've got the ability to lift the roof off Singapore pretty much any time they please at the moment. The set piece, a powerful display, and the finishing of this try. Well, the writing could be on the wall for a few sides in this tournament. They're really going to have to watch themselves against China, how close they get to them. There's another 2 points, and China seem nicely warmed up.
Well, ahead of this tournament, Jed, I guess most of us are sort of expecting China and Hong Kong to be in the final, but that's one interesting part of this tournament. But the other interesting part is, looked like a late tackle there that referee Coleman's not happy. Yeah, yellow card, so a little bit aggressive from China.
Possibly the little, shall we say, tick that is China's weakness, is the tendency to do daft things. And that was a fairly good example of just some laziness in terms of what they're trying to achieve. Gao Bing didn't have to go and do that, as they pressure now Singapore. Done well to cover themselves off in the corner there.
They've been penalised though. Declan Martin's just taken that extra roll, and six-man China straightening up, and Hu Jianyi's too big, too strong. And he had one thing on his mind, and it wasn't shaking hands with the Singaporeans as he ran by them. Puts it under the post for try number 3. Good footwork from the big man. Mahjong just chips that one over daintily for his third conversion. 21 points to 0. The China machine warming up here, as you say. They'll have Philippines in round 3 later on today, which will be intriguing, but definitely third best team in Asia at the moment, behind Japan and Hong Kong. They've been in camp for 5 months. It's incredible. No effort spared for the Olympic effort. We saw with their women in Guangzhou 2 weeks ago just how far Chinese rugby has come, men and women. They've really taken it to another dimension. They were unbelievable in taking out the qualifier, booking their spot at the Olympics along with Japanese women.
Well, they sent a great message. Remember, in the first game, they made it pretty clear to everyone in the tournament what their intention was. And to be fair, other than the odd blemish for discipline, the men's side have got away to a similar start.
Singapore up against 6. Can they find the space? Good chance for China just to get their defensive patterns working, and they've done it. No, they've been penalised this time. Daryl Chia fires that one out to Nicholas Yao. Stretching them wide. Nathan Wong gets taken in a nice tackle by Mahjong, and again they're just too alert and too powerful at the breakdown. And look at the speed here from Hu. Gets taken from behind by Nathan Wong. Good comeback from him. Luluda, that one's floated forward, hasn't it? One of those ones that mysteriously floats forward out of the hand. And to the break we go. It's 21 points to 0. Singapore just hanging in there at this stage.
Yes, they
are. Else around the world. Great having you with us. Stay with us the whole weekend. The Olympic dream. Big moments for these young athletes and their sporting aspirations. Just as exciting, I was starting to say before, was not just who's going to be in the final tomorrow, but who's going to get themselves off the bottom spot to be in the quarterfinals after day 1. Singapore, well, they're battling it out with probably Chinese Taipei and Afghanistan to avoid that wooden spoon. Here we go then. China with a lot of width. Nathan Wong, he gets smoked on the outside. And look at this from Hu Jianyi. He just takes his foot off the gas there. And What an athlete this man is. Try number 2. Just one of the handful of fully capable threats that China does possess.
Well, he's got a pretty smooth style when it comes to moving fast. Getting closed in upon, but he never really was in threat. Started the second half pretty smartly, haven't they, Korea? Excuse me, China.
Yeah, those were lovely wide passes, 2 or 3 of them to get them underway. Such a small skill to possess, but such an important skill in the big scheme of things. Getting players away on the outside, there's no point having gas and capabilities out wide. If the pass is just a few inches backward, it just brings it to a halt. Look at that in the air, Big Yao Bing. He's back on the field after 2 minutes on the naughty chair, and he's gone up there high, but he's towered over them and unable to bat it back. It's not the Olympic rings on his neck, is it?
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Here he is, danger man, Shang Chang Shun. 96 points on the series over 3 legs. Just 1 point behind Matsui, the Japanese try-scoring sensation. Singapore trailing 26 points to 0. Desperate for a try here to give them some points difference.
Great run.
Yeah, here we go. Hidayat Jeffredin, he's been a standout. Throws in a speculator over the top. Good link play from Nathan Wong. Looking to bend the Chinese out wide. It's Big Gao. Big Gao up against Declan Martins. He cuts in. Gets taken down by Jar. And the support's there. Over goes Samuel Coe. Is he in the corner? There's going to be a decision here. There's a nod. There's a wink. And we stand by. Have Singapore nailed themselves 5 points. We're going upstairs to the TMO for the first time today.
I'm not entirely sure what he's looking for, but for mine, that is the try of the day so far. That is an absolute ripper from Singapore. What a break by the young man. He slipped a lot of them, and then you just can't coach the pass that he got away on. That looked pretty good. Where's he at here? They're looking at the foot. That's a good grounding. Now, that's 5 points all day for me. Good positioning of the AR on the line. He's right on the line.
TMO Anthony Moyes. He won't have
there it is.
Look at that one too long. He's very experienced referee sitting in front of us. Been on the World Series.
Well, they've flown that one in Singapore against pretty much all hope. And by gee, they've done well. Plenty of direction on the conversion. But the skill to move it across the park and into some space on the far side, that really was magnificent. Don't worry about the individual brilliance to create the move, but the teamwork to get it over there to score, outstanding.
One of the tries of the day underway again. Here goes Gao, and he gets those big tentacles working. They want to hold on here as Liu Jinkui comes away, running hard down this near side flank. Looks like Singapore offside there. Yes, the arm is out. Gao now running free. He's a sight. He's like a giraffe across the Serengeti. Very graceful when he runs. Straightening up. Good run by Jiao Bawei. And inside to Shan Chang Shun, the try-scoring machine. And that takes him to 100 points this season in sevens. Great try, good finish. Punishing Singapore there.
Well, no better way for China to deal with the euphoria of Singapore than to spin the table back round and get back to business, and that's exactly what they've done. Any possible thinking about a Singaporean reprisal was, well, put to rest on that occasion. Plus 2 more points for you to think about. That's well taken by the man deep behind the dead ball line. He's done very nicely. Get him a shirt.
33-5, starting to damage their points difference. Now Singapore, they need to hold on. They only leaked 9 points against Philippines early, and look at the confidence of this young fella. We're liking the look. He gets his knee to ground.
Good man.
He knows they get a finger on him, they could hold him up. Superior height, strength, weight. Good run by Nathan Wong. He's done well there, Wong. Singapore, well, the best thing they could do here for their chances is to score another one. Bouncing out is Nicholas Yao, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Yao's not going to be caught. Good little solo effort from him. And those 5 points there are truly gold dust for Singapore.
Wow. Terrific work from Singapore. The finishing yards and terrific to see. Encouraging work by the Singaporean side. I'll be feeling the cold a little bit though, I suspect.
Coach Suhaimi there, all looking cozy in his trench coat. (33-12). Last play of the game. Can they score another one here, Singapore? This should get them home. Coming up fast was Feng Wen Yu, and they're happy to go backwards, Singapore. There's a very flat ball to Samuel Coe. They get away with it. Gow's over the top, and he just stretches one of those big legs, and they've done that illegally. Mateus Chia taken down by Shan. And China, well, they're going to save themselves, I think, for their game against the Philippines later. They've come out here, they've done well, China, against the spirited Singaporean squad. They put on a score, 33 points to 12, but tip of the hat to Singapore, Jeremy. And China, look out for them. We haven't seen Lu Luda really yet exploding, the skipper, the big number 3. You got this massive man, Gao Yingbao, and number 6. And this time Shan Changshun gets a run from 10. They've got speed out wide with Ma Chong, Liu Jinghoi. They have a team on the up. They've improved over the series. The Philippines, they had a good win earlier against Singapore, 21 points to 12. They were well marshalled by Luke Smith in 4. Big performances by Tommy Gilbert in 1. And Nick Robertson in 7. Look out though for Don Coleman in number 8. He's an absolute truck of a man. And some quality on the bench. So expect the Philippines to give China a good old nudge here in their final pool match of the day.
Well, this one's a cliffhanger. This one has got the ability or the potential to be an absolute screamer. And China is now, they should go through. They better watch their step.
Matt Rodden gets us underway here. China will need a confident start and battered back there. Olivier couldn't quite get his hands on it. That would have been an early win for the Volcanoes. As it is, they'll have to soak up a bit of pressure here. That's good defence coming in on Big Lu Luda. Not easy to shove that man back. Scooting around the side goes Shan Changshun, one of the most devastating runners in the game in Asia. Gets caught by Olivier. Here's Liu Jinkoi, taken hard and low by Coleman. It's a good tackle. Hu Jinjae. It's Ma Zhong. He's a playmaker. He's an extraordinary talent. Perhaps not what he was 2 or 3 seasons ago, but still got the skills and the ability. And Lu Luda here, if that had gone straight to hand, he would have been straight in. As it is, he's had to go back, pick it up on the bounce. Volcanoes numbering up well on defence. Liu Junkoi brings it back the other way. Look at all the yellow and red shirts there. A stray boot. Was it stray? That's the question. Or was it deliberate? Lu Luda. Big Lu Luda. It's taken low by Luke Smith. Here's Gao. Gao straightens up. Only has to beat Rob Fogarty, who takes him, but he needed another metre of runway to stop him, and finally they cross for a try. 2 minutes into this match to break it open. Eventually the Volcanoes defence just buckling and running out of numbers.
중국의 10번 선수가 커버킥을 성공하며 2점을 추가 득점했습니다. Finance number 10 succeeds a conversion kick and adds 2 points.
Okay, Philippines now trailing by 7. Just coming up to the 3-minute mark now. They've got to apply some pressure here, build some pressure. Tommy Gilbert tries to get the inside ball. Nick Robertson on hand, couldn't quite take it. Luke Smith bobbles it, knocks it on. Nearly into the hands of Shan there. He would have been away. So, a bit of a let off for the Volcanoes. Look at the work there, though, from Lu Luda. He's a colossus of a man. Absolutely smashes Nick Robertson out of the road.
Let's go. You good? Hey, just stay bound here. Drive straight, not around or up. Okay. Crouch.
Rodden with the scrum instructions.
Binds. Sits.
Wu Jiajun with the feed. And a big shove comes in from the Volcanoes. They win the penalty.
Standing up. This player here.
That's a big tick in the box for Coach Frano Bodica. Targeting that scrum, they had to do it. There's another scoring opportunity. Here's Olivier on the inside to... Here's Robertson, who's missed that one. Ma Zhong picks it up and goes away with it.
Tackle release. Now you pulled him into it.
It'll go down as a wasted chance for the Volcanoes, and now they're going to have to D up. They're on the back foot. Trying to work it hard to break this defence. Shan. Lee. Last pass out to Gao, Ying Hao, try scorer.
Roll away.
More pressure here, 2 minutes remaining. Philippines desperate to get their hands on the ball. He skips out of 2 tackles to Shan Changshun, and that's why he's the leading point scorer for China. And the second leading point scorer in the Asia 7 series for 2019. His second for the tournament. And he converted straight out in front, so they're just starving the Volcanoes of the ball at the moment. And he's incredibly quick off the mark there once he'd beaten the 2 tackles. Very light on his feet. Good upper body strength. Mahjong on screen. And that is pinpoint accurate, and it's just bounced back out of the clutches of the chasers. Volcanoes get to it first though. They really have to get on the board here. If not next, then within this half if they can. Tommy Gilbert takes a bounce pass, beats Lou Luder on one, gets away from Shan who comes back at him. It's a bit static though from the Volcanoes. Good straightening though from Coleman. Sorry, it's Fogarty. Here's Olivier. Luder contests. Still in their own half. Here goes Fogarty again. Puts the knee in to Wu. Lou Luder's all over this.
Player out here offside. Over here, boys. Over here, over here. This player offside.
Time is up on the clock and they've got a last chance here. Do they fancy just plug in the corner perhaps, or
Time off subs.
there's going to be some subs after the hooter. I think it's Don Coleman that's coming off. Yes, it is. On comes Justin Coveney. Big man for big man. Smith taps and goes and bangs it out wide. If they get the bounce here, could be Volcanoes are in. Tommy Gilbert. Sorry, it's Nick Robertson, sorry. And good vision from Smith. Tapped and kicked, and the sweeper was on the wrong side of the field. That's exactly what they needed, right on the hooter, and it's right out in front. Sorry, it's right out wide. Luke Smith will be, he's kicked harder ones than this. This will be a valuable 2 points. Will it come round? No, it doesn't. Just shades away there, so they've pulled one back. And that's what Frano Bodica would dearly have wanted. They're going to stay in this chase at the turnaround. 14 points to 5 they trail. But they've given themselves a shot. Be fines for him at the referee's post-tournament debrief. Luke Smith to get us underway in the battle of Pool B, Philippines versus China. Oh, that's unfortunate. Lou Luder with the big fend. It's not unfortunate for China. Here goes Hu Jinyi, and he's just got the nous, the confidence, and eventually the speed to get away and pin one down straight off the kickoff. It was a vicious bounce. 3 tries in the tournament for him. And that's probably exactly what Frano Bodica didn't want straight after the half. As Hu makes his way back. So the winner of this pool will play the 7th place getter, which will probably be Chinese Taipei or Singapore. And the loser of this game will play whoever came second in Pool C, which will probably be Sri Lanka. So 19 points to 5. They've been penalised again. This is not what the Volcanoes need. Were they 10 metres? There's a terrible bit of work. Here goes Tommy Gilbert. Can he spark something? So influential, this man in Philippines rugby. They need one now. They trail by 2 scores. Here's Coveney. Pops a nice ball inside. Good defence from Mahjong. And yeah, not really giving it much daylight there. Philippines keen to get on with things. Good bit of trickery. Olivier can't take it. It's a nasty one.
Yeah. forward.
It's been knocked on.
Scrum China.
Still 4.5 minutes left, plenty of time for the Philippines.
Time off subs.
On comes Gao Bing. Close to 7 foot tall, this fella.
Stay down.
Very rangy. Good ball player. Good runner. He's one of the tallest men in sevens globally.
중국팀 선수 교체 있습니다. 9번 선수가
Expect a
나오고
big shove from the
8번
Philippines here. They
선수가
forced a
들어갑니다.
turnover at an earlier one. They've nearly done the same here. Ma Zhong takes that well under pressure, comes away with it. Takes on Robertson, Fogarty. Here he is with his first touch. Big Yao Bing. Nice quick hands from Lu Luda to get the ball wide there. Such a good ball play. And oh, he's off again. Here goes Hu Jinyi. He's going to go in for try number 4. And that one, he had a little less work to do, you might say, but it was Lu Luda, the skipper, who put in the very low bullet pass under pressure to get it away. And they've opened a gap now that I doubt the Volcanoes are going to be able to recover from. Shan comes forward for the kick. Nails it, adds the 2. That will surely be enough to take out Pool B, China.
중국팀 선수 교체 있습니다. 2번 선수가 나오고 1번 선수가 들어갑니다. Substitution for Team China, player number 2 is substituted by player number 1. 필리핀 선수 교체 있습니다. 7번 선수가 나오고 8번
Just over the head there of
Substitution for Team Philippines, player number 7 is substituted by player
what's
number
going on here. There's a tussle for the ball there. It's only a scrum. You can't take a quick scrum, I don't think. Perhaps Tommy Gilbert just a little bit frustrated with his side's inability to get their hands on the ball and keep a hold of it from the restart. Coleman misjudged it slightly, just left it a little late and it went over his head, and here's Lu Luda coming off. Good nudge from him.
Substitution for Team China, player number 3 is substituted by player number 8.
Again, look for the Volcanoes to go hard. Look at the competition here, the scrum halves. Good hustling by Joe Dawson. They get it back though to Ma Zhong. Dawson with a good tackle. Good follow up from the little scrum half, and he's won the penalty. Coleman goes quick. Luke Smith back on the inside and doubles around. Here's Olivier, takes on the double try scorer Hu and beats him and pops it back to Luke Smith, who goes to the corner. And the youngster pops it over in the corner, and he was in that move 3 times. First try of the tournament. Normally the playmaker. This time he definitely was making the play there. Doubled around twice. And the face says it all. It's not close. Great work from Patrice Olivier to get the hands free, attract 2 defenders and put his teammate away. Not going the 10, maybe the leg's a little bit tired after that previous movement. If they'd let that go, it probably would have gone the 10. 26-10 is the score into the final minute. Ma Zhong in no hurry. They've looked pretty good this morning and this afternoon. Building nicely. This man especially, Hu Jinyi, 2 tries, gets taken around the chops there, wins the penalty. Trying to put on a move. Mahjong looking to link up with who? Put him away for his hat-trick maybe. Great defence from Luke Smith there, just coming through. Gets penalised though. Mahjong's going to have a shot, is he? Well, that's unusual. But why not? The game's won. They're going to win the pool. It's not going to affect who they play tomorrow. The only thing that might happen is this. The Philippines catch it short and fancy a trot downfield, which might improve their position. And they've won a penalty. Away goes Smith. What's left in those legs? They looked a bit tired earlier. Starting to blow. The chasers are coming. Here comes who? He scored 2. Can he stop one? No, he can't. Luke Smith's gone the full length to pick up what should be a second try. Matt Rodden's having a chat. Not looking good on the knee there. They don't want this young man to be out of action. Try is eventually awarded by Rodden. What an effort. And a little listen there perhaps for China and the viewers at home, taking shots for goal out wide. Good work from this young man and a good finish, and they never gave up. They just couldn't hold on to the ball long enough during the first half to build enough pressure to score points. Smith unable to take the conversion, so Coleman has a crack, puts his hat in the ring and can't nail it, so it's over. China are through to take out Pool B. The Philippines will take second spot. We'll have a look at the table shortly. 26 points to 15. Throughout the series, maybe they're just building up. We haven't seen really Lu Luda, their skipper and number 3, get involved. He's a mountain of a man. He's a great ball player as well as Gao Bing, but look out really for Chang Shan Sun. He's the finisher. Singapore, meantime, well, we've been impressed with Hidiat Jeffredin and number 16, so not really putting teams away yet. China, they did finish 3rd on the series in 2019. Beat Japan, let's not forget. Not many teams have beaten Japan this year, but they did it. 14-7 in a cup semi-final. So if they get their act together, they can beat literally anybody. Singapore with the first chance now. Here's Adam Vine. Beats the tackle of Gao Yinghao. Big wide passes, but someone's got to straighten up. Nathan Wong here. Yeah, look at the big reach of Gao Bing there in 4. He's on the floor. He's about 2. He's over 2. He's about 2 meters tall, let's say. 6'8" or 9. And here they go. This is the man as well to watch. 4 tries yesterday for this fella. And he's in for an early one. Hu Jinyi soaked up some pressure. And I think that's his 5th for the tournament. Yes, it is. Good open for China.
Got a real nose for the line, this bloke. He knows when to pop up. And he's got the pace to go with it. China opened the account early. Good morning and a big shout out to the Bedok Kings and the Tangland Rugby Club down in Singapore, of course. All our friends at the SCC. I imagine they'll be shuffling into the Hickory at bar to be watching rugby. It seems to be the spot to watch your rugby in Singapore. Greetings to everybody in the Lion City.
Yeah, and greetings to Daniel Chow, the General Manager of Singapore Rugby as well. I'm sure you're watching. Singapore then trailing 7-0 here early on. Here is this playmaker that we like, Jeffredin. Gets taken well by Hu Jinyi. Nathan Wong throws a dipper. Nicely taken on the bounce by Matthias Chia. You don't want to go in high against Lu Luda. Well, yeah, that's what happens. Lu Luda, look at him there in 3. Clapping his hands, just a little clap to himself there and his teammates there. Well done.
He deserves to give himself a round of applause as well, big Lu Luda. Huge, powerful man. Some athlete, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a ball player too. I look at Big Gal there on the far side. They're both big men. Get around the park. They can fire out those long passes themselves. They get the scrum back. There's Ma Jong, another one of the glamour players. They come around the corner, the forwards. It's Lu Luda. And here goes Hu Jinyi again. One to beat. Puts the fend right into the mush of Nicholas Yao. And a superior reach. And all about timing and placement. And makes easy work of it for his second try.
Beautifully balanced runner. Can operate pretty much off either foot. And there is a way to approach it. That unfortunately was not the way. They're proving stubborn, Singapore, but China, I think the more ball they get, look at that. Just hit the outside, got on the gas. Great athleticism.
Yeah, puts them up to 6 tries then. Leading try scorer. They haven't got the kick right though. Here comes Nathan Wong. He might just want to pin his ears back. Lu Luda with the counteract, but it's a bit late. Singapore swinging it across. Nicholas Yao decides to take on some contact and gets a little bit isolated. Ma Zhong and co. There he is, look at Gao Ping. Terrific work from this really tall guy. It's along the ground. Here goes Lu Luda now. He show what he can do. A lot of bounce passes here. Just slipping up off the grass, getting along. Lu. Here he goes again. Goodness me. No, Hu Jinyi. Great tackle coming in around the ankles by Adam Vine. But it's too close to the line. He can't stop him getting a first half hat trick. And there's a new man on the scene. 3rd for this match. 7 for the tournament. So he's out there leading Zhongmin by a couple now.
Well, perhaps the Chinese coach might want to hook this boy right now. He's obviously running the hot hand. I don't want to run him out too early in the day because it seems everything he touches at the moment he's finishing.
That's not a bad effort, is it? Just to the right from Ma Jong.
He hasn't done a massive amount that's been obvious today. Look at that. Good tackle too. Thumping tackle. Ma Zhong, he hasn't done a lot today, but he can do a lot when he wants to. And, you know, why play your cards too early on day 2? He'll be a big factor later in the day.
Gets that one just right. Gives the Chasers a real shot, but they've knocked it on. Yeah, Ma, we've seen him a lot over the years, and he was also in the South China Tigers squad in the Global Rapid Rugby last season. One of 2 players from China in a largely Hong Kong squad. Get some good experience. We'll be bracing ourselves for that event again come March next year. Global Rapid Rugby is a go. 17-0 in the final minute again. The smaller Singaporeans, he's trying to release the ball here. And Yao Bing's got the big tentacles on it too. And they've done a job again. Rolling maul collapsed. It's almost unfair.
I like the look of this young player. He's a clever, intelligent player. They are the most dangerous. Looks young too, so potentially has the ability to throw a little bit more weight into the mix as well. Look at that. Harrying, chasing, pressurising China.
How about that enthusiasm on the hooter there? That was a fantastic blast by the hooter operator. There goes Hu Jinyi, the man of the moment. Look at that, scooting around the blind side. Liu Junkoi. That's good eyes up rugby from him. Singapore ran out of numbers in the end. And try number 4 on the hooter for China. They're looking good. Looking very good. And a big matchup. If it goes this way with South Korea in the Cup semi-final, that'll be one to get very moist about.
Yeah, I would say lock the time and your phones, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get the alerts all organised today, because there's going to be some fab.
Roughly equal with Shihito Matsui from Japan. He scored all his through tries. But Shan picked up a bunch of tries yesterday himself, so they're keeping that powder dry for the moment. Doesn't look like there's any changes at half time for China, but Declan Martins looks like he's on for Singapore in shirt 1. That's an almighty restart by Ma Chong. It's a cracker. This is Jeffredin. Samuel Coe with a chance, runs straight and hard. Collects one of the Chinese on the head, who lays down, clutching out a scone. In fact, it looks like it's Feng Wenru down there. So up against 6 now for the moment. Singapore, can they work it? Can they find the gap? Be a good chance for China to practice their 6-man defence. Samuel Coe again. There's the numbers here if they can get it across. Nicholas Yao bangs off the right twice, beats 1, beats 2. Nathan Wong just can't reach out to get that one. And that's bounced into the hands of Ma Chong, and they're not going to catch Ma. And he scoots away for a pretty simple try in the end. 6-man China soaking up the pressure. Turnover under the post for try number 5. Amazingly, first of the tournament. There's the Chinese player still down there. He is receiving treatment. I think that actually might be their try scorer sensation, Hu Jinyi. A lot of concern if that's the case. No, I think it is in fact Feng Wenru. It's just come on. I think Hu's actually left the field at half time. Took Jed's advice and resting their try scoring machine. So, it's the arriving player there. I think it's Matthias Cheers. Just accidentally collected him with his knee, and probably have to have an head injury assessment right on the back of the head, the soft part. So an inglorious start for him.
Well, the injury assessment should be fairly straightforward. That hurts.
Ma Chong converted his own, so it's 31-0. And he gets us underway again. Singapore, I just think they're lacking the firepower to break through this stern Chinese defence. Look at it coming up now. There's that great big step of Hidayat Jeffredin. Flicks it inside. What a talent. Look at this, taking on 3 defenders. They try to hold him up. It's Nicholas Yao. Oh, and it pops out the back, but I don't think Ma Chong was ever back. It was a ruck, so he had to get behind the last foot. Wasn't open play. He's a talent, isn't he, this young fella, Jeffredin?
Certainly is. Well, a reminder to shout out to Singapore Irish and former Irish international, Neil Best. Doing the good work down there with the kids. Look forward to seeing Singapore Irish popping up in a few tournaments around the region. Good work, Bestie.
Singapore penalised there. Brings another effort to an end. Here's Big Yao Bing. Look, you're holding the ball like an orange, like he's a Fijian. Brilliant tackle. Mowed him down, Samuel Coe. Well done. Once he gets those big knees up high, he's like a giraffe across the Serengeti. Very graceful. Out wide to Wu Jiajun. Here's Ma Chong. Is he going to go in for 2? An easy one in the end. Scoots round the very short blind side. They run out of numbers. And it started with that man there, Jeffredin, with a brilliant bit of footwork.
I tell you what, Grant, I'm absolutely licking my lips at the prospect of China and Korea having a crack at each other, because of what we've seen in these two games, they're going to be beautifully matched.
I have some lip balm if you want it.
Yeah, I'll take some, thank you.
Yeah, you don't want to get your lips all chapped up.
No, not at all.
So it's turning into a bit of a blowout here, but yes, Korea, China, well, that's going to be huge. The Northeast Asian neighbours later on, 2:12 local time. First Cup semi-final. Singaporean coach, wow, his lads have been schooled here. Importantly, it's how they go after this in the bottom half of the draw, the plate semi-finals. That's where they'll be more evenly matched matches with Malaysia, Afghanistan, perhaps the Philippines, perhaps Sri Lanka. Singapore then, they do get out, they break out. The tackle of Fu can't take him. Fu comes back at
great
it.
ball.
Great ball up in the air to Farhan Amran, who's on. He's beaten the last, but he needs to get it out. Shan Cheng.
Great ball again.
Yeah, here they come. Released in the tackle. It's the man of the moment. He delivers. You probably want to stay and support here. Good footwork too from Hashrul Hanfi, and how about that from Maurice Wong? Well, I'm going to call that the try of the match.
I'll be happy with that. That's outstanding play, Singapore. That's what happens when you work for each other. They stayed in the mix and stayed alive. The Singaporean side, plenty of hands on the ball, and they've come from deep to do that one. A nice little touch just to keep the play going. 2 points here would be just deserved, I reckon, but that was a great wee try. Here we go. No, that's no threat to the poles at all. Here he goes, finds the man on the outside channel. He shaped this one up beautifully. Look at that. Classy.
That's beautiful sevens, isn't it? Just getting the ball to space. And this man here, just delivering this time. He looks like he's probably got to go home and do his homework after this. He very youthful. Hidayat Jeffredin, a star for the future, but straight from the restart. A lapse in concentration, perhaps still patting themselves on the back. And there he is, Shan Chang Shun. He's the danger man we talked about. He's been rested early in this game. On he comes for his third try.
Well, unlike you and I, Grant, he probably does do his homework.
Yeah, that's a big tip from the commentary box.
Stay in school, kids.
You don't want to end up in the commentary box. The bottom rung of the ladder. Good fun though. Look at this breakout. Just one little fan and he's away.
Well, you hear a lot of coaches say it. It's the first 60 seconds after another team's, the opposition has scored. That's the time to strike back. And China, well, they've not really stepped off the pivot at all. Everyone's marvelled at that Singaporean try, and they should, but Korea, they can see a bigger job to do.
43-5, perhaps the last play here as Lee Hai Tao is on in 9 as well. Throws his fresh legs at the defence. Ma delivers, looks for the return. Comes in and bridges. Lee Hai Tao. Look at this from Ryu Jia Jun, just looking very lively. Another good fin. Gets a push off from him. A little boost. And Lee Hai Tao is going to finish this one right next to the sticks. Conversion to come. It could be 50 early on day 2.
Well, powerful first up showing from China to match first game effort from Korea. This side of the draw is looking, well, pretty much decided, isn't it? Be fascinated to see where Hong Kong's at this morning. And even more fascinated to see this next match, which is going to be a beauty. 50 points to 5. Singapore with a memorable effort, with China.
A bit of a doozy, one feels. They've been equally matched on paper, at least throughout this tournament. Korea, well, they dusted themselves off from a very poor performance in the 2019 series, and here they are. And for some reason, Jang Jong-min, the danger man, is on the bench, but never fear. Bang Jung-jun-young, the number 2's been scoring tries. And they've also got their skipper Park Wan-young, who's been marshalling them around the field. Jong-yeon-sik in number 1. It's a very strong-looking bench with Kim Nam-muk, Jang Jong-min, Jong Song-min. And on the China side, Lu Luda, their skipper. He's a mountainous man, and his colleague Yao Yingbao on the bench for the moment. But Shan Chang-shun, I think, gets his first start of the weekend, the leading point scorer of the Asia Rugby 7 Series 2019. And they're about to come out now, the local crowd. They roar them onto the field. South Korea.
Personally, I think for Hong Kong, China would be the one they'd want to stay away from. I feel like Korea, if they can beat China, this will be their final. I don't know if they can get themselves back up to take on Hong Kong, but for the next 14 minutes, it doesn't matter.
Matt Rodden from Hong Kong just pats down the hair. It's rain. If you've just joined us, it's been steadily drizzling for the last hour or so. Conditions here not as you'd like for an Olympic qualification match, but it's going to be Ma Chong from China. A lot rests on his shoulders here, and he goes deep, and he's
never
done very well there. Spotted a gap. The Koreans.
So that's what it's going to be, the full court press from China. Out of their own red zone. Korea are going to have to try and make it.
The crowd are on their feet. They've got their clangers. They're clanging their clangers, and from hard up against their try line, they decide to pop it over the top. Chugging back goes Woo Jun, and it's nothing's easy out there at the moment. It's a greasy service. Ma Chong comes back. They've got all their players behind the ball now. Here's Lu Luda, their inspirational captain. Ma Chong looks like he's already injecting himself into this game. He can often take a back seat, but he looks keen. Wu Jianju. Lu Luda to Gao Yinghao. Tries to get past Kim Hyun-soo, but can't. Lu Luda picks and goes. Nice work from him. Now they just slow it down a bit, show some patience. Shan Chang-shun, they've got to keep their eyes on him. Gets collared around the neck though, says Rodden, so they win a penalty. It's a frantic opening here. Minute and a half. And Rodden this time straight to ground, the supporting player, so a let off, and the atmosphere here is electric.
There's a bit of fizz in the air, I love it.
Here come Korea then, their first shot, still in their own half though. It's Han Kun-kyu, another penalty, going straight to ground, so it's been the whistle that dominates so far in this early in this Cup semi-final. Just want to slow it down now. Here's Liu Junkui. Wu Jia-jun, Ma Chong takes a hit from Han Kun-kyu, and another one for a high shot. They're racking up the penalties. That's 3 they've conceded, Korea. Here goes Lu Luda, gets on the front foot, gets upended by Chang Yong-hung. This is Shan. He can step his way through any defence. Ma Chong slips as he tries to take on Kim Hyun-soo. That's a terrible pass to Han's feet. Someone battling to get this back, and they try to blow over at the Koreans, and the crowd senses that there's a shot here. Yes, they've won it back. Where's the space though? They probe, they look up, they can't see any. Chinese defence is numbered up well. Lu Luda throws himself at that ruck. Almost away on the outside there. Park Wan-young, their skipper, ducks under a high one and secures position. The handling is good, but the footwork is not.
No, let it come. No, leave it.
Again, it's Korea. They get harried. The hustle is good from China, and Matt Rodden. There's been 6 penalties so far. They're raining penalties, and it's frantic. Just one set piece so far. 4 minutes gone, 0-0.
Tense moments for both of these sides. No one actually able to quite dominate or break the line as yet. Stacking a bit of continuity for both teams. China with the opportunity possibly once or twice to get wide, but the skills letting them down on the pass. Full credit to Korea, they've kept them in check. Korea actually looking perhaps the quicker of the two squads.
There's a mistake over the back there, so squandered set piece by the Koreans. Now China with nearly 5 minutes gone. Shan Chang-shung, they've got their eye firmly on him. If they give him an inch, he'll be under the post. Lickety split. They work it back the other way. Here's Lu Luda. Nicely floated out. This is Wu Jia-jun. The Koreans again counter-rucking, but again just unable to keep their hands off the ground. And that's just a sign of the conditions here they're battling with. Gao Yinghao wants to go quick. Time running out. Who will break this deadlock? Here goes Shan. We know he's got gas. Again, they do well to marshal him. Zhong Yon-sik with the tackle. Gao Yinghao straightens up himself and taken down by Lee Song-bei. Another penalty. Could be a card coming soon. Just penalty after penalty. Ma Chong. Lee Hai-tao goes in. He got a little bit isolated and they get their hands on it. That's been good work at the breakdown by the Koreans in this first half. That's 2 or 3 they've managed to turn over. On comes the big man Jang Song-min in 9.
Yeah, its counterpart just starting to feel the pinch of the pace of the game. They want to keep the power and strength on. I think Korea have done their calculations. They need some big bangers out there. They've got a real specialist gone out now. There's a man that can create some room and offload. He's also got some finishing capability of his own.
Lee Song-bei content just to go for about a 5-metre gain there. Now they messed up the last line out. Can they get this one right? The skipper. Again, they get in the way, China. Well read at the front by Gao. They won it back. Final moments of this first half.
Well, no penalties to be the call. No penalties.
Lu Luda tries to seize the moment. Fends off a couple. Steps a couple. Brings out all the tools from the toolbox, the big skipper. The two skippers collide and Park is penalised with the post beckoning. The hooter about to go. Korea throwing everything at this ruck. Lu Luda's there. Doesn't have a crack himself. Lee Hai-tao reaches out. He's over! Trying to break this deadlock right on the hooter. Just sheer weight of possession. What a time to score a second try. They lead 5-0 with a kick to come.
Oh, fatigue factor kick again right in that last 30 seconds for Korea. They're feeling the pinch all right. It's been a loaded first half. Maybe not so much end to end, but there's been a lot of contact. There's been a lot of hard work at the ruck. I think Korea were first to blink. As the conversion is successful, that'll be an important 2 points in the scheme of things. And the Chinese go to the break. 7 points up. They lead Korea 7-0. After a thick end. Well, will 7 points by trying to be enough, Boozer? I wonder.
Yes, we just remind you about our social media sites, asia.rugby at Facebook and on Insta. Spot in the final, and they trail by 7. And a lot of penalties in that first half. Rodden gets us underway. Here we go. Lee Song Bei bounces it into the Chinese half. South Korea, well, they need to be the first to score here. Ma Chong, the steadying influence of Ma Chong.
It'll be fascinating to see what the mentality of the Chinese is here and whether they score another try. Look at that shot. What a hit.
Holy smokes, would you believe that?
And he looks up and he wonders, who was that guy?
Jang Song Min has put an absolute belter in here. And Shan, the danger man, doesn't know what's hit him. Well, that's huge, and that could lift the side.
Oh, well, that will lift the side. That's exactly what you want to see.
They've messed the line out up, though. That's another one gone begging. Here's Shan, danger man. Tries to take on Chang. And here's the other danger mouse himself, Hu Jianyi. So, look at that. Just a hand came out there, and Shan is on his way. Pressure being piled on by China here. Lu Luda's ranging wide. No, comes back on the inside. Wu gets hit with a full frontal. And look at that, it's a dogfight. They know they win yet another penalty. Lu Luda, surely they're not 10. Doing the splits at the back, there's Gao Ying Hao. The blue line comes up rather tentatively. Ma Chong with a bit of deception, gives it to his strike player Hu. Gets himself off the ground, incredible upper body strength that man. Here's Lee Hai Tao. Lu Luda's on the outside. He pings it back to Lee. Lu Luda retakes it off him. Steps off the right, puts a big forearm in on Bang Junyoung. They're incredibly close now. Gao Ying Hao. And they have relieved the pressure here, and there is real pressure on Korea right now.
Well, they've absorbed a lot, this Korean side, over 9 minutes and 15 seconds. Absolutely phenomenal how much they've taken on the chin. But this is where the champions step in. They just continue on. So it's back on your feet, brother. And let's get this game underway.
Jang Song Min just seemingly falling over untouched there. Lu Luda here. Look at that. It was a big forearm to the chops. And they've done well to defend that, South Korea. Andre Kokolad is on, you see on your screen now. And number 8, Bang Junyoung, well, he's out. Rodden wants him to calm it down. 2 minutes gone in the second half. It's on a knife edge.
Let's see who is who in the zoo.
Park Wen Yung. This is enterprising stuff from right on their own try line. And
well, there's space here if they can find it.
Kokolad sends it back the other way. It's a good read from Kokolad. Got the call. Going to ground is Lee Song Bei. Flying in comes Kokolad at 1,000 miles an hour. They win the penalty. They're on a roll, South Korea.
Oh, China's tend to soak up a little bit now. Now will they go into full defensive mode?
4 minutes remain. Chang gets on the hammer. Isn't how it gets up and goes again. Kokolad's there. Lee Song Bei.
Here we go.
There's a bit of space out there. Lu Luda. It's Jang Jongmin. He's on the field in 7. This man can go. Pops it into Kokolad, who can't control it. It wasn't the most sympathetic pass, but he would have taken that on a dry track. And Jang Jongmin has entered the fray out there. Here he goes. Lu Luda just holds on to him. He'll be cross with himself, Kokola. That wasn't a difficult one.
Let's go, China. Come on.
Well, I'm not surprised. Yes. Boys are blowing. They're looking at the cage. Will I get the old-fashioned hui? Come and have a sit down. I don't think so. I don't think so. Here's the proving ground.
Stability.
That's why it gets hot out there. It gets so hot that at the other end, the Olympians come out.
Kim Namuk is on in 12. He's a star of the 15 side. And Gao Bing comes on in 4. There he is, the tall man.
Just get your binds on the back.
Straight into the action halfway through the second half. Still 7-0.
Crouch. Bind.
Stadium, they're on their edge of their seats here, the home crowd, but it's a China feed. And they've secured position. Ma Chong just slips over on that very slippery grass.
Release, blue tackle.
And that was a tired looking effort.
Balls available.
This crowd is in full song right now. Ma Chong, they're going backwards. Kokolad. That's good work from Ma to scoot under a couple of flailing arms to get the impetus back. Ball on the inside to Hu. And he's howled and he gets back up. Here's Kim Namuk now. Goes quickly, throws out a howler. And they've knocked it on. And just a little too eager from Kim Namuk, I think. They cede back position to China.
Well, kids, not a great way of taking the ball. If you're going to take the ball in a situation like that, get your body down to greet it. Put the body between the ball and the player. Will probably come up trumps every time. Simply bending over and hoping to pick it up in conditions like these doesn't make a lot of sense. So commit yourself.
You need to bind here. No, not on the prop.
That would be the coaching lesson to come out of that particular moment.
Both of you.
Just 1.5 minutes remaining. Possession is with China.
Crouch.
They'll just look to hold on to this ball.
Gee whiz, this stadium will go ballistic if Korea can even up here.
Yeah, and you hope for their sake they can pull this off. They need to first get the ball.
Dear.
They're going to get it back through Ahira.
He's done it. He's swapped it cold and he knows it.
So pressure and a wet ball.
The face in the ball on that occasion, didn't it? Look at this. Look at this face. Oh, what have I done here? And he's just absolutely filthy on himself.
What's their go-to here? Korea.
Oh, I'd hit one out and then roll back to the short side and have a crack at the corner down here in front of the stand.
They need a conversion. Jang, can they give him a bit of space? Oh, there he goes. Ooh, he puts the brakes on. Does the trigonometry. Hasn't got the angle. Kokolad. Kim Hyun-soo. Someone's got to take by the scruff of the necks. Here's Jang Song-min. Big Jang Song-min.
Here's the big man.
Jang.
He's going in.
Jang comes round.
Get around, son.
He's going to equalise. And that's what he does. The crowd erupts. The roof is lifted here. They bring it within 2. Conversion to come. And he stood up at the right moment, Jang Song-min. Game on.
Every pass that went before it, they were clutching at it like it was absolute bone china.
Kokolad with the extra 2. We're on evens here, 7 apiece with the hooter about to sound. Look at this.
Go away. Great fan. Too much power, too much strength. What a moment for Korea.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man. In other games, he might have just taken the tackle, but there was no way he was going down there. So it's all on. The crowd, the dream stays alive. It's a tricky customer squirting along the floor, and they've done it again. There it is. So it's 7-all. at the hooter. We're going to go into extra time. What a game we've got on here.
Oh, phenomenal stuff. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. They have held on by the skin of try before the end of the first half. And they've had a little bit of luck. And a little bit of luck, Boozer. Well, that could be just enough, to be honest.
The crowd is ramping things up here. It's going to sudden death here. First to score will win this match and go through to the final against either Hong Kong or the Philippines.
Well, it'd be a bit like following Chuck Berry, wouldn't it? Listen. Hong Kong, the Philippines. I would be surprised if everyone ducks out after this game for a quick breather.
So China will kick, Korea will receive. That first kick out of the first half, they found some grass. In fact, it's a... Is it a tap? What are the Koreans doing? They're all up flat. It's a kick. Not sure what's going on here, Jed. They've predicted it. Ma Chong will try and put something up that they can contest. Kokolart, though, brings it down and Park fires it away. Jang Jong Min. Give that fella an inch and he earns a penalty. So Kokolart does the job. Goodness me, there's been an enormous amount of penalties in this match. So who can hold on here? China, they need the ball back. Through the gap goes Kim Namuk, the substitute. Look at the Chinese piling in. They've
not kept their feet.
They've not kept their feet, but what an avalanche they threw at that. Kim Namuk with the break.
Well, they're desperate to try and turn the ball over, aren't they, China?
There goes Jang with the leg drive.
Oh,
drags two along with him. Lee Song Bai clears it.
They've got to find the pace, Boozer.
Jang Jongmin's out wide. They try to put him away. Jang's away! Jang gets on the outside. He's come off the bench and saved their bacon. Look at the man starfishing. Kokolart slides in. Kim Namuk. They are going to the big dance, the final, Jed. What a finish from Korea.
Unbelievable scenes. Utter self-belief in the end. And China, well, the case of the yips maybe, maybe not. In the end, Korea had to reach into their pocket, take this game and make it their own, and that's exactly what they did. Remarkable stuff. And their stars, Boozer, have not only come home, but they've come out to play.
Yeah, the crowd delirious with that one. They're on their feet. They've come out in the rain to watch Korea. They've had a dogged season. They've got nothing to show for it. China, inspirational skipper Lu Luda, number 3. Big tough man. Ma Chong in 12 has been inspirational. Shan Chang Shun in 10. He's one of the leading try scorers. And the Philippines, well, they went down earlier to Hong Kong, 26-0 in their semi-final, but a gutsy effort. And they really are becoming a well-polished unit. Guys like Luke Smith at 4 running the show. Here they come then. Led out by Lu Luda there. China came into this tournament as second seeds and didn't look right from the get. And I'm sure they'd love to go to the repechage in Biarritz in June. As would China. They've put a lot into this campaign. They're lucky there to get away with that. 2 players colliding, trying to take that ball. China Well, they beat Japan this year on the series, so they're the real deal. They are growing as a team. Here's Chan Shangshun. Out to Ma Chong, who's got a bit of space. Takes on Smith, who takes him around the knees in a copybook tackle. Joe Dawson helps him. And look at Coleman coming. He's going to smash somebody here, and he gets in a good hit. Gets up, goes for another one. Here's big Lou Luda. And we've got a man down. Looks like a serious head collision there. I think it was Don Coleman, was it, that got him going backwards? It's Gao Ying Hao writhing around with pain.
Well, he's possibly taken one to the floating rib there. And a shot on the floating rib can sink a man. Coleman's come through and given that one the special though, hasn't he? Saw him come charging up out of the line. He's absolutely drilled the man. There's some tough nuts in this Philippine side, there's no doubt about it.
Look at Dawson here. He's full of niggle. Not only going for the moustache, but going for the filthy sideburns as well.
Well, he's going for the whole collection. It's the JPR, isn't it? You can see it coming.
The lamb chops there. And Philippines just, clearly pushing that one around the corner. Rodden's, you've got to get up pretty early to catch Matt Rodden out. China then, Lou Luda throws his considerable weight into this Volcano defensive line. And we've seen a lot of that, haven't we? Just players arriving and not able to support their weight and just putting their hands straight on the ground. Rodden sees the funny side, off their feet. A lot of that this weekend, Jed.
Yeah, you miss your stable points or the areas you're looking for, and you dive in and lose your feet, and it doesn't look great, does it? You just go straight to ground. It's pretty obvious in sevens.
Coleman there with a big run, but he gets clattered from behind. Jolts the ball out, gives it back to the man of China. Here we go. This is something from nothing here for Gao Ying Hao. And again, just an unnecessary, clumsy bit of play there to give away valuable possession. It's like the playbook's gone out the window almost.
Well, it is a bit of a job to do, isn't it, for China to get their heads back in the game after, well, first of all being beaten, and secondly being just run into the ground in a game, such an exciting game, wasn't it, that semi-final?
Fogarty with the big hard run up to the halfway, and once again it's been spilled at the breakdown. Twice in a row, Fogarty and Coleman guilty of just not protecting the ball. Easier than it sounds easy, but it's not. Frano Bodica has hooked Fogarty. And on comes Evan Spargo.
Well, they're lacking the rapid pace of Nick Robertson out there, aren't they? The Philippines. He's a major strike weapon for the Volcanoes. It's a bit of a blow to see him gone. But Dawson and Smith are out there, and both of them have impressed me greatly over the season.
Well, they've done it again, the Volcanoes. At scrum time, they've tried to wheel it, and they've been penalised. Now they win one back. Dawson wants to get going quick. Puts the lamb chops into third gear, but Rodden brings them back.
This game being played at a considered tempo, isn't it? It's a bit of a drop in pace compared to the semi-finals. And Smith just taken a bit of a bang to the knee. There's a fair bit of strapping on there already.
And I don't want this to happen to this young man ahead of the SEA Games in 2 weeks. He's crucial to everything they do. Son of Jez Smith, who played in Hong Kong for Valley in the early 90s. Gilbert to Olivier, and Gilbert leaps around. He knows Olivier's got the strength to get the arms free. Fogarty puts his head down. China not back on side here. Yep, the arm goes out. 1-0 for the commentators. Still 0-0 after 4 minutes. It's been a long 4 minutes, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a grueling 4 minutes. Coming off the back of the previous game these boys have played. It's been a long old weekend. It's been a lot of recovery time for them to chew up.
Coveney, Smith now looks like he's okay. Puts on the gas, takes on Ma Jong, gets the ball away to Dawson. Olivier, there he goes again, ball in one hand. Must have a bit of Fijian in him, this boy. That's who's missing, of course, Tim Boheni. Not sure if he's a passport holder or not. Noticeably absent from the squad. Here's Fogarty, he knows one way. Just goes straight at there. Ma Jong nearly pinches that, but he does enough to win the favour of Matt Rodden. Hang on. Look at that. Olivier's been binned for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Both clumsy and, well, really just put it down to reckless. He was going in for the big clean out, 15 style.
It wasn't evil.
Not yet, but he does look like a man who's probably had 1 or 2 bouts with being evil.
So the rest of this half, they'll be down to 6. Golden
great
opportunity for China. Yeah, look at that from Coveney. He's worked his way into the starting lineup. And Gilbert, that might have been better off going out wide. They're down to 6 though, so they just want to hold that ball. Still a minute and a half to soak this up. Ma Jong needs to use his experience to exploit the space. Numerical advantage. Someone's just got to take a look up and suss out where they've got to move the ball to. Kick over the top could even do it. There's no sweeper, of course, and they've probably got a little bit of pace over the Volcanoes.
So they've got a lot of pace over the Volcanoes. They can figure out how to use it.
Wu Jia Jun with a little thrust. Here's Lu Luda. Can he take control and seize this match? Look at him go, the big fella. No kicks required here. He says, give me that ball. I'll show you how to do it. He just run hard and straight. He's such an athlete. Really nice guy. And finally, they get through. They get one past 6-man Philippines.
Yeah, terrific score for the big man. Saw a lane, got into it, pinned his ears back, and Ma Jong does the right thing. As they come back for the restart, there he is, Lu Luda, all smiles. Matt Rodden looks on. The restart to come from China. And it does. They lead 7-0, and it comes down. Smith takes on the line, and through he goes. The Volcanoes straight back on the attack. Great ball on the inside. Can he hold it? Can he what? And the Volcanoes trot one in. Right under the sticks. And that is a beauty for Justin Coveney. He knows it was Luke Smith that set it up for him. But he did the right thing. He held onto the ball in the end. And just like that, The great truth of rugby union and team sport. Hit back as soon as you can. And there's no better time to hit back than straight after being scored on yourself. Smith takes care of the 2. That's 7. And it's all tied up again. Remarkable turn of events the last couple of minutes. It looked like a barren, dry desert out there to start with. And then we go to the break. She's all tied up 7-all.
Good on TV. On this feed, probably. Hope you've enjoyed our commentary, ladies. Keep it going. You're nearly there. 11 minutes to kick off in the final. And here we go. Now this is for a chance to go to the repechage in Biarritz as Coleman gives that one a good nudge forward. Locked up at 7-all. They're back to 7 players, Philippines. Patrice Olivier. There's a try scorer coming. He just took an extra roll there.
You need to clearly tap the ball. Clearly tap it behind the mark.
Referee Rodden looking a wee bit cool out there.
Yeah, it's dropped to 10 degrees now, dropping quickly at a rate here, and with the wind, probably about 5 or 6 degrees down there, soaking wet. Here they come then. Wu out to Chang Shun, and he's been remarkably quiet in this game, but he launches himself into the attack, and good individual effort from him, leading point scorer on the Asia Rugby 7 series this year. 96 points over 3 legs. Well, they came into this as second seeds, and well, we wouldn't have picked Korea. They've turned their fortunes around. They were pretty dire towards the end of the series, coming in 8th spot. China, well, the Chinese women's side had already qualified for the Olympics at the qualifier in Guangzhou. Remarkable effort by the Chinese woman, joining the Japanese woman at the Tokyo Olympics. And the Chinese men, well, if they can win this, they still have a shot at the repechage. There'll be some stiff competition for that, no doubt. There's a lot of teams not represented so far in the 10 that have made it through to the final 12. Here goes Olivier. He's got isolated here. They sense it. Good work by Gilbert to come in there and just rescue that one. Dawson with the short pass. Coleman running straight and hard, and he bounces out of one. He's full of grunt. Coleman. Olivier to Smith. Ooh, that could have turned ugly. Almost looked like a tip here. Look, straightening up. Goes Coleman. Could this be the moment? He's going to go all the way. He wants to try and bring that around as much as possible. He doesn't manage to. He's happy with that. And he's brought it all even, and he's looks like he's having a seizure of some sort down there, but second try of the tournament. What a time to get it.
Well, he's run a long way. And he might have bellied out a wee bit hard on the ground there. I think he's potentially winded himself, and now the responsibility falls back to the magic man himself, Smith. Oh yeah, no problem.
And a very knowing crowd. This is a knowledgeable crowd. They know their rugby. A big sigh of relief there as it goes over, so they seize back the lead to lead by 2. Look at Coleman sucking in the big ones.
Well, Boozy, we're looking at the Philippines leading China. That's remarkable.
Yeah. It is, and there's a lot more left in this story, you feel, with 3.5 minutes to go. China going to come back, and there's Big Yao Bing on the field. Look at him going for it. He's all over the place like a mad giraffe.
Oh, he's like an action movie, this guy, isn't he? It's like a kung fu classic.
Now Lou Luda, he's going to have a say about this.
Good
big
tackle.
Yeah, big tackle from Olivier. Nicely done. Taken behind the gain line. Lou Luda's on hand. He's going to go into overdrive the skipper.
Righto, well, the Volcanoes have got to hurt themselves now if they can.
Gao
absolutely bury themselves.
Big carry by Gao, and they work their way downfield. Looking probably for someone like Ma Chong or Shan Chang Shun. It's a curly one on the floor there. Dawson comes sliding in. Shan rescues it for China. Lu Luda. Good tackle by Coleman on Gao Ying Hao. He tries to get over the ball. It's Fogarty. Wu Jiajun, oh, he's just slipped the tackle. There's one to beat. And he looks like he's struggling out there. It's the replacement, Evan Spargo, the 13th man, who finds himself in the spotlight. And there's nowhere to hide out there on a sevens field when you're the last line of defence. And it's Wu Jiajun. He gets his first of the tournament. Here's coach Chris Lane. He's up off his seat, the Australian. They take back the lead. Spargo, no match for Wu. Comes around him and just outgassed there. Mismatch. Not sure why he was back at sweeper, or he's just a bit of a cameo, just filling in. Freelancing out the back there. Shan Chang Shun, 1 minute to go. The gap is 5. I think Gilbert, yeah, he's knocked that on, unfortunately, as valuable possession given back into China. And look, half of the Chinese team are looking towards the bench, giving the substitution sign to Chris Lane. He's ignoring them. 30 seconds, that's all you've got. You can book your tickets to Biarritz. I'm sure they'll just put this up the jumper or boot it into the stands. They've used up whatever time is left.
Let's go, wait for the ball. Time back on, let's go. Crouch. Bind. Sit. Stability, wait.
Old Trevor Lewis watching on with great interest. Good friend of ours is
Shan Chang Shun has no interest, pops it out, and it's handshakes all round. They take third spot, China. Lu Luda, he looks happy, the happy captain. Well, he'd be much happier if he was in this next match, but never mind. They are going to have a chance.